Okay, well, at this point, I've managed to just get us into a solar frame of reference, or Kerbolar, depending on how you choose to think of it. Because controlling this thing with these guys on a whack was ridiculous. So we're going to attempt to redock them a little bit more sanely. So I'm going to find a docking port that is docked. That one, undock. And let's switch to this guy. Very good. I want to try and get the right camera angle for this. What's going on? Not orbital, not chase, not auto. I guess I was on free, but that wasn't a very good camera angle. Okay, that one's not bad. Let's try this. Put the SAS RCS on. And actually, you know what? I want chase view. That would be better. Okay, so we want to go up, which is this way, I think. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. That seemed like that was going... Yeah, hold on. That's not right. I need to control from here. There we go. That's better. I was looking at it from the wrong perspective. Controlling from a docking port, probably. Alright, so let's go. Now we want up. Yes? I think. This is not the right angle either. Okay, if I go this way... No, I want this way. Okay, there we go. Alright. Now. Let's get a little bit of distance. Let's get ourselves forward. I need to get enough distance that the docking clamps will actually re-dock. Or reclamp, or reclamp dock, whenever I get within range. And I want them lined up as best as possible and come in at a proper enough angle so that they just go. No wibbling and wobbling around to actually to find its mark, because then it's more likely that they'll both dock and they'll both be in line with the other one. Since these are clones of each other, they definitely line up perfectly. That's the word. Pa. It's just getting the game to recognize that that's the trick. Alright, let's start heading back towards it very slowly. Now, I need to turn... Nope, that way, the other way. This is the part that's really tricky, because I gotta get this lined up perfectly. That looks pretty good. Now, we need a lot more momentum this way. How's it look from this angle? Okay, no. More that way. And then some this way. Oh, it's so fidgety. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Zoom in there a little bit. Yeah, let's stop translating now. Okay, and how's this look? Let's go forward a little bit. Let's stop getting so close. Okay, let's keep that. I want a little rotation. Okay, we're getting pretty good, pretty good. Come on, work for me this time, would ya? I want a perfect docking. Gotta turn this way a little bit, and then go this way a little bit. Okay, that looks good. My computer says otherwise. Okay, here we go. Alright, how's that look? We are docked. I don't know which one I docked. I should have been paying attention to that, I suppose. These two here seem pretty good, I think. Oh, it's so hard to tell. That's not bad. Well, let's see. Which ones say that they're docked? If I click on this one, that says control. That one says control. So those aren't docked. Come on. Okay, that one says it's docked. That one's not docked. That one is docked. Okay, so we didn't really get any better as far as that goes, but we might get less rotation. Alright, I'm done fiddling with this. We're just gonna have to wrestle with it at this point. I want to get to Jool. So let's go ahead and set an encounter here. That looks good. And let's start accelerating. And see if we can't get a proper Jool encounter now that we are out in this frame of reference. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Out past Duna, out past Drace. And... okay, there's some separation. We get there late, it looks like. Oh, but if we burn a little bit more... blink! Now, what's that bring our periapsis to? Now, if I do the focus view thing again... aha! That's what I want. This is really handy. This is new since 23.5, I think. But basically what we can do, if I can get these handles up again... there we go. Is from here... we can sort of zoom in. Let's click on the periapsis thing for the tag. Oh, come back! You jerks. Okay, keep that up. And I want you too. No. Let's get rid of these guys. And... there's too many things. I can't click with all the things. There, got it. Alright, so what happens if we accelerate some more? That brings the periapsis down. Okay, just fiddling with this. Coming in like so, maybe. And then if we adjust this. I want to come in pretty low. I'm not sure how low I want to go. Limbo. But pretty close. And the further out from Jool that we do this adjustment, the more efficient the fuel usage will be. Okay, it started going, it's sort of going up and then I overcompensated. Come on. I think it was around 55 or so. 54. Okay, that's good. And what happens if we start tweaking this? Pro tip also, if you play the game. Oh, what is that? Oh, that gives us a Tyro. That's interesting. That gave us an encounter with one of the moons. Did I say Tyro? Really? Tylo with an L. Alright, I think this is about as good as it's gonna get from this distance out. And I'm not sure what Jool's stats are. Will it tell me? If I go here, will it actually tell me? Oh, it does. Let's see. The atmosphere for Jool starts at 200,000 meters. So we're nowhere close. But maybe we can tweak this a little bit when we get a little bit closer. Maybe, I think we'll do this maneuver, which is apparently a 10-minute burn. Good lord. And then when we get to the ascending node will adjust that for 0 and see if that helps get us any closer. So, very good, very good. We have a thing to do. Happy with that. Can we... How responsive is the ship without any SAS on? Pretty responsive. Apparently the reaction wheels that I've got on the plane is helping. So we're going to get pointed here, and then at 5 minutes out, I'll start my burn. And once I've made this maneuver, I will rejoin you. Oh my gosh. 10 minutes is a very long burn. I've been sitting here waiting this out in real time. I got up from my chair. I took a bathroom break, went to my kitchen, got myself a drink, came back, sat down, finished the drink, and still had about a minute left to go. So, yeah. I didn't want to risk physics time warping with a vessel this crazy. I didn't want it to wiggle itself apart with the SAS compensating, so I decided to just wait it out real time, and 10 minutes is a long time. When all you're doing is waiting for it, you'd be surprised how long 10 minutes can feel. I went to the eye doctor today, and they didn't take me till 30 minutes after my appointment, and it didn't feel as long as this 10 minutes felt. Because at least then I had my phone to play with and whatnot. Anyway, 30 seconds left on this burn. And we're going to do a little... barely touching it. Trying to stay on the mark to get this as accurate as possible. Whoa, 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 don't do that. Okay, alright, that's fine. Oh, geez, okay, let's fine-tune controls, maybe. That would be a good idea. Stop rotating. Oh, the rotation is annoying. For the most part, when I don't touch it while it's flying, it doesn't do this. But it's because I was trying to fine-tune it while we were going. There we go. Almost there. Just 70 more meters per second, Jeb. You can do it. There we go. Rotation is canceled out. Very good. Get back on target. Come on, turn. Whale. Leaf on the wind, my butt. Alright, we're getting close. You're ready to cut the engines. Whoa, that was a weird sound. Half throttle. And... good enough for me. 1 meter per second off, I'm sure is not going to be a problem. Let's go ahead and let it free drift for a bit, why don't we? I made a dismissive gesture with my hand that you missed. But there we are! We've got... whoa. Whoa! Okay, that was... what? Oh, we are hovering right on... do you see that? We might come straight into lathe! That is fantastic news! Because, look, we use less than half of our fuel to do this, and it's going to be more efficient than this to get back, because we're actually going to... once this number here, the liquid fuel number here, gets down low enough... actually, let me see. That's interesting. This middle tank has more liquid fuel and oxidizer in it than these outer ones. Are we draining fuel from up here? Oh, criminy. Gosh darn. We're draining fuel from... okay, the fuel and oxidizer there is fine. Fuel and oxidizer there is fine. Okay, I'll just have to make sure to transfer the fuel before we undock. That's fine. I forgot to disable the crossfeed. Disable crossfeed. We'll do it from here. Anyway, I was wondering, why is that so much more full? Wow. Why is that so much more full than the other two? But anyway, it's got a roughly 2,900 capacity, right? So let's say 2,700 to make the math easy. That means when this is down to 900 liquid fuel remaining, we can these guys will be lower than that, actually, because of the issue here. But we'll be able to transfer fuel from these outer ones right into the center one and ditch all this extra mass on the side that we don't need. And it'll just be this, and we're gonna lose these probes while we're over there. This, when it comes back up from Lathe, will have less fuel in it, so it won't be as massive. So there will be more than enough fuel to get back to Kerbal without having to worry about trying to aerobrake in Jool's atmosphere. So if we're going to actually end up with a Lathe encounter or something close to it that I can finagle a Lathe encounter, then I'm going to go for that instead. I think that would probably be okay. Although, we might have quite a bit of velocity coming in, so maybe I want to aerobrake anyway. I will ponder that for a while and see what I come up with. I do think I'm going to go ahead and bring this node down when we get to it to a 0 degree inclination. So I think that will help. 0.2. Oh, we got a descending node now. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to do this. I will bring you guys back in when we are about to get into some sort of encounter with Jool for real. When the green giant is in sight. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I've made some adjustments with the fuel. I've refueled all of the fuel compartments in Wash to replenish the fuel that was lost when the crossfeed was enabled. It is still disabled, I believe. Yes. Very good. Let's just double check these tanks really quickly. Oh, come on now. Yep, looks good. And looks good. Now, I notice this. See those 3 orange tanks on the left? 940, 940, 940 equals 2820. Meaning that we can now transfer all of the fuel from these outer guys to the inner guy and ditch the extra weight. It's sort of a ghetto asparagus staging that I was going for with this. So that one thing that'll do is that'll get rid of the whole rotation issue. Alright, that's done. And let's grab this one. And that one. In and in. Thank you. That'll get rid of the whole rotation issue, because we'll just have one line of thrust straight through the center, not any side ones. Now, we are going to lose a lot of the monopropellant, which I think is going to be just fine. I'm going to transfer some, because we did lose a little bit out of there, but this one is still full, I believe. Yep. So let's go ahead and transfer monopropellant, we'll say from this guy. Doesn't really matter too much where it's coming from. Very good, so those are now full. So now we can actually just get rid of these. Let's see here. Undock. And let's switch to that vessel. Hello. Are we controlling... Yeah, we're controlling this from here. Right? Okay. So then we go to chase mode. So we want to puff up. That is, I think, this way? Yes. Get some separation there. Excellent. And now we'll switch back. Sorry you can't see anything. There we go. Now we'll switch back. And we'll undock this guy, who has 2 thumbs and is ready to undock. This guy. And switch. Not to you, I've already undocked you. And RCS on, and we go... Nope, not that way. How about... Nope. This way? That way? Nope, that way. There we go. It's controlling apparently from a docking port, but I'm too lazy to find where that is and switch. So we'll send you drifting away as well. Get plenty of momentum here before we leave you behind. But we are done with you. We are done with you, vessels. We've got a full tank of gas in you. And, well, mostly full tank of gas in you. Full tank of gas in you. And we are raring to go. And this should be full, right? Oh, that's not full. Oh, oh well. I should have transferred monopropellant in here, but I wasn't thinking. I don't think that's going to be an issue. We haven't even used, what? A third of it would be 500, so we will have plenty of monopropellant in this stage. I'm not worried about leaving these things behind. Now let's take a look at the map, shall we? Here we are coming into our encounter, and we've got a periapsis right now of 700,000 meters. But if I throw on our SAS RCS and I puff just ever so slowly forward, we can bring that periapsis down well within the atmosphere, no problem. So we should be able to aerobrake with this when we get out there. But it's going to take a while. We've already been in space 89 days, and we are barely there. We started here, and we've gotten to here. And we do nothing but slow down on the way out. So this, well, it says right there, 2 years, 240 days. Wow. I hope you brought something to read, Jeb. Alright guys, we are mere seconds away from entering Jool's sphere of influence. You can actually see some of the individual bodies of the Joolian system in the distance there. And look how far apart these guys have gotten with just a little bit of thrust that we gave them way back when. In fact, their velocity, holy moly, their velocities are 500 meters per second different. That's kind of cool. But yeah, we should be hitting the encounter here very, very shortly, and then we'll switch to this frame of reference over here. And I think we're going to have a good periapsis. It says 115. And there it is, 115 meters above the surface of Jool, so that will get us some aerobraking. Hopefully will be enough without being too much. That's what I'm concerned about. Can we see Jool now? Should be more or less straight ahead, should it not? Because I was facing retrograde. But let me swing around here a little bit, see if I have any signs of it. I don't think it's too visible yet. I think we're still too far up, because what is our 2.5 billion meters, so yeah, we're gonna have to get a little bit closer before we can see it. So more time warping is in order. There we go. We're coming in on a pretty flat plane, too, it looks like. More or less. So I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully we won't need to spend too much delta V matching up with Lathe's orbit. And Lathe is... where are you? Where are you, Lathe? Is this you? I do not see Lathe. Tylo, Bop, Paul... Why is Lathe not visible? Are we too far out still? Tylo. Paul. Bob. What the heck is this? Oh, that must be our escape trajectory. Huh, I don't know. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. There's Leif. Very good. Our periapsis in 4 days. Man, we are really far out there. Can we see Jool now, though? Are we close enough? Let's see. There's the sun. So the sun is there, so it should be to the left of the sun. Aha! There's Jool. Let's go ahead and time warp up from this view. Get in towards the gas giant. Oh, man. This has been a very, very long journey. Coming up on 3 Kerbal years just to get here. Alright, let's slow it down. Orbital speed approaching 3,500 meters per second. Got some of the moons whipping past here. Our altitude now in K instead of M, so that's good. See if we can't get a... Whoa, can't get a better angle here. Coming in on the night side, it looks like. That's fine. It's freaking me out, man, how big this planet's getting. I keep thinking we're about to slam into it. But not quite. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the lights on. Just so we can see our spaceship a little bit better. We've got tons of electric charge, so that should be perfectly fine. Alright, we're watching this number here. 7 million. Look how ginormous that planet is. That's insane. We haven't even gotten close to it yet, really. Let's see, this is 3 million. We're getting down to 115,000, I remind you. It's gonna fill the whole screen. Look at that. Alright, now we're hundreds of thousands of meters. Let's go down to one-time warp. I don't want to shoot past our atmosphere interaction. We should be getting some re-entry effects pretty soon. Oh, geez, if we are, why don't I bring the solar panels in, turn the lights off. I don't want to accidentally shear off those solar panels. Wow! Sunrise at Jool. Check that out. Oh, that is so cool! What effect is this having on our orbit? Anything? Here's our escape. Ooh, not really any effect on it at all. I would have thought by now we would have seen something. Wait, why is that intersecting the planet? That's scary. I did quick save, but it was pretty far out from Jool, just in case I needed to adjust our altitude at all. Let's go ahead and rotate a little bit here. Present our heat shield to the... Well, I was going to say to the planet's surface, but we don't really have a surface. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting re-entry effects. That should mean that we have a much more dramatic reduction in velocity, I'm hoping. Now, we are facing the wrong way at the moment. If we should need to slow down more. But I think that's gonna be okay. Alright, let's put the SAS on. We'll let it keep us stable at that attitude. There you go, there's a shot too. I like that. frame rate is going nuts. Periapsis is dropping. We should have plenty of room for that periapsis to drop, I hope. What do we got here? Jool escape is getting pretty far out there. Let's zoom out here. Okay, our solar orbit has collapsed. We were on an escape trajectory originally. Now we're coming down. So that's good. Altitude, 125,000 meters. There is actually a calculator out there somewhere, I think, on the Kerbal Space Program wiki that says if you're coming in with this much velocity and you want to get into an orbit around the body, this is the, depth that you should dip into the atmosphere for aerobraking. And I did not bother to look that up. I may find that I regret that, but we will see what happens. I'm actually pretty sad. Oh, okay. Our orbit has collapsed now to the sphere of Jool. Yeah, we might actually need to burn prograde here pretty shortly. So I'm glad I did point in this direction. We might have dipped in a little bit further than I had intended, because we are still descending. Oh, wow, boy, are we ever. Okay. Scary, scary. Yeah, can we start going back up soon, please? What is our periapsis currently at? It says 114,000. So hopefully we'll get past that in 17, 16 seconds. Okay. See this? Oh, there's an encounter with Tylo. If we had been able to come... Oh, and there's another encounter with Tylo. If we'd been able to halt our deceleration at that point. I always forget, this number decreases more slowly the closer in that it gets. Because it's the opposite of the effect when you're burning prograde. It pushes out ever faster the further out it goes. I guess it's an exponential equation because it's a parabola. And for the same reason, it comes in slower and slower the closer in it gets. So that should be good. And we are past the periapsis. We are now rising. So I think we might be out of the woods. But good lord, at this re-entry effect here. And poor Jeb can't see any of it because the cockpit that he is in does not have a window for the inside. It doesn't also have any controls. I guess Squad hasn't updated this texture yet. They'll have to work something out there. But he's basically just inside. Well, if we... I think I've shown you this before, but if we go in here, this is what Jeb gets to see. Ooh, yay! We are aerobraking at Jool, I assume, based on nothing. Jeb's not really driving. We just let him think he's driving. But this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. I love it so much. Look how tiny the sun is from out here. Holy mackerel, we are really far out. But I love that green halo of the atmosphere. Fantastic. Alright, well, I'm going to get us into a stable orbit around Jool. And then we will proceed from there to try to get ourselves out to Lathe. So we'll see you in a bit.